Welcome to my very first Better Call Saul Season 6 episode review video. Before I get into that, though, pretty important, if you aren't caught up to the point where I am in rewatching or watching Better Call Saul, or you're just not entirely sure, then you definitely need to take the initiative and pay attention to the episode's title, which of course I'll mention, as well as put in the description. If that happens to be the case, you find that you're not caught up, it would be my recommendation that you don't watch this detailed review any further to avoid any potential spoilers. And full disclosure, I've already seen Better Call Saul all the way through one time. Really awesome show. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. I would say top 12 for sure. Might be as high as number 6. Obviously, I'm a huge Breaking Bad fan. That one's a little bit higher. That one is definitely third place, at least for me. But I wanted to rewatch this show to let it resonate as I binged it beforehand. So with all that said, this will be Better Call Saul Season 6, Episode 1. The title of this episode is called Wine and Roses. And this will be my review reaction recap after just finishing watching the episode. So we start with what appears to be the usual black and white segment following Gene Takovic, as previous seasons began, showing neckties cascading into a box. However, the ties gradually become more colorful. Continuing in color, the teaser then shows a team of workers removing personal effects, including expensive clothing, luxury furniture, sentimental items, and a white Cadillac sedan from a large mansion in Albuquerque. The mansion formerly belonged to Saul Goodman. Now, we never saw Saul Goodman's place in Breaking Bad. We just saw him at the office. And the property and everything in it is being repossessed as a large cabinet is being loaded onto a moving truck. Then we see the distinctive cat from the Zafrino tequila bottle falls out into the gutter, going unnoticed by the workers. Then we have Nacho flees from Lalo's compound in Mexico after allowing Gus's assassins to enter through the back gate. He overhears gunfire as he runs through the wilderness. At daybreak, he hides in a ditch to avoid being seen by some farmers. Nacho then receives a call on his cell phone from Tyrus, who tells him that the hit on Lalo Salamanca was successful and advises him to travel north and keep a low profile while a safe location is being prepared for him. Lalo turns up at a home of a woman named Sylvia. After tending to his leg wound, Sylvia fixes breakfast for Lalo and thanks him for funding oral surgery for her husband, Mateo. Now, Mateo appears, and after Lalo comments on his large beard, is told by Sylvia to shave. Lalo tells him to keep his mustache and soul patch. After Mateo heads to the bathroom, Lalo separates the blades of a pair of scissors, gripping one piece as a knife. After killing Sylvia off screen, Lalo visits the bathroom and talks to Mateo, who now resembles Lalo Salamanca after having shaved himself. We have Jimmy lying awake in bed at the hotel, troubled by his conversation with Kim Wexler the previous evening. Returning to her apartment, the couple prepare for work. Kim is short of money for the taxi couple are planning to take downtown, but Jimmy retrieves a duffel bag from the closet and hands her a large bundle of leftover cash from his trek in the desert. Kim also takes out Jimmy's bullet-pierced thermos from the duffel bag. As she and Jimmy are about to drive away in a taxi, Kim throws the thermos in a trash can. Marco and Leonello Salamanca arrive at Lalo's compound, where they are treated fearfully by the Mexican federales investigating the shootout. Inside the place, the cousins find the body of Mateo, which has been burned beyond recognition to resemble Lalo lying in the kitchen. Marco respectfully covers Lalo's body with his suit, coat, and Leonello leaves a Santa Muerte card with an inscription vowing vengeance. Angered by Lalo's apparent death, the cousins leave. Gus Fring receives a call from Juan Bolsa, who reports that Lalo is dead. Fearing imminent chaos, he says that Don Eladio has put a price on Nacho Varga's head and that the Salamanca's plan to interrogate Nacho once he is found. In a war conference with Mike and Tyrus, Gus is skeptical that the mission was successful when all the assassins have been killed. Mike doesn't say so, but appears to harbor his own doubts. He proposes venturing into Mexico to rescue Nacho, but Gus isn't receptive to the idea. Speaking privately, Mike tells Gus that Nacho successfully navigated a tough situation and is entitled to some respect. Gus currently replies that he hasn't. Jimmy is confronted by the ADA Gina and Detective Tim Roberts, who demand to know the whereabouts of Jorge de Guzman. Roberts explains that the address Jimmy provided for Jorge has been found to be fake, and the family presented at the bail hearing have not been located. Jorge himself has vanished, and then Gina expresses her suspicion that the family was made up and that Jimmy knew about it. And then Jimmy, when he argues back with him, Jimmy accidentally refers to his client as Lalo, which further raises Gina's suspicions, but plays it off as simply name confusion of various clients. He walks into an empty courtroom and sits down, agonizing over his gaffe. Jimmy arrives at the El Camino dining room, paying homage to El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie, to have dinner with Kim, hearing about her day at the courthouse. He remarks that it sounds like it was a day from hell, but Kim says that it was actually one of the best days of her professional life. She remarks that Jimmy's new Ford Taurus isn't showing enough for Saul Goodman to drive and suggests they begin looking for office space where Saul can set up his law practice. Discussion turns into Kim's proposed scam against Howard Hamlin. She tells Jimmy that she has come up with a plan that will get the Sandpiper case settled, but leave Howard Hamlin still standing. And that the first step involves targeting Cliff Main. Jimmy agrees to hear the plan. Nacho hides inside a large culvert when a convoy of federales drives by. He arrives at a remote motel and receives a room key from the woman at the front desk. Inside the room, he has been left with an envelope containing a pistol, extra magazines, and a change of clothes, both Mexican and U.S. currency, and a mobile phone. Calling Tyrus, he is told that he will be picked up in a couple of days and is instructed to lie low in the meantime. Nacho anxiously looks out the window of his motel room. He attempts to call Mike, who is playing with Kaylee, but Mike reluctantly declines the call. Jimmy and Kim survey Howard and Cliff as they play golf at a country club. Kim estimates that Jimmy has 45 minutes to enact his part of their plan. As Saul Goodman, Jimmy walks into the country club and begins to take a tour. He is spotted in the main lounge by Kevin Wachtel, who takes aside Jimmy's tour guide, Norm, and tells him to have Jimmy removed. Instead of leaving, Jimmy makes a scene and accuses the country club of engaging in discrimination. Kevin confronts Jimmy and nearly provoked into punching him. Angered, Kevin leaves, and then stress-induced bowel issues. Jimmy has Norm give him the directions to the men's locker room. Jimmy walks into a bathroom stall and deliberately clogs a toilet to distract the attendant. Outside, Kim is alarmed when Howard Hamlin and Cliff Main end their golf game early. Jimmy, having found Howard's locker number on a list, receives a text message from Kim telling him to abort. Ignoring the message, he finds Howard's locker and slips something through the door. Hearing Howard Hamlin and Cliff Main entering the room, Jimmy takes off his clothes in order to pose as a fellow club member just out of the shower. When Howard opens his locker door, a small bag of what appears to be cocaine falls out to the floor, seen by Cliff Main. The two men brush off the incident, but Cliff Main seems a little suspicious. Jimmy and Kim watch as Howard and Cliff walk to Howard's Jaguar. Kim expresses doubt in their plan and says that they may have been too subtle, but Jimmy replies that the plan was perfect. Lalo rides in the back of a pickup truck near the U.S.-Mexico border. He is dropped off at a location where a group of undocumented immigrants are being located into a hidden compartment in a hay truck. Before he climbs in, Lalo makes a call to the nursing home and tells Hector Salamanca that he survived the attack on the compound, that Gus was behind it, and that Lalo plans on returning to Albuquerque to enact revenge. Using his bell to communicate, Hector asks whether Lalo has proof of his accusations. Lalo realizes that he knows exactly where to find it. Deciding not to cross the border, he demands his money back from the two traffickers handling the immigrants. When they refuse, he shoots them both dead. Lalo then gives all of his cash back to the immigrants, steals the truck belonging to the traffickers, and drives away from the border. And that's what ends this Season 6 premiere of Better Call Saul. So, I was a little bored watching it. I don't know, some of these episodes, like Season 4 and Season 5, other than the end of Season 5, have been kind of like boring to a degree for me, at least. I don't remember them being that boring the first time around, but I don't know. But I'll give the episode an 8.0 out of 10. My character of the episode is going to be Lalo Salamanca. And you've heard everything that I have to say. Now it's your turn if you're a fan of Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, El Camino, a Breaking Bad movie. Nice Easter egg for El Camino in this episode. And you want to help me out with the YouTube algorithm. Please make sure that you Hulk smash the like button, share the video with a friend, put this video on any one of your social media platforms. Don't forget to sound off in the comment section about what your thoughts are on this episode of Better Call Saul. What would you rate the episode, and who would you choose as your character of the episode? I'm hoping that you find it more entertaining than I do. I still love the show, but I just feel like other than the last like three episodes of Season 5, Season 4, in my opinion, was kind of iffy. And, you know, I don't know. Maybe my opinion will change once I rewatch everything again, but I just found myself a little bit bored. And then last, but certainly not least, don't forget to hit that sub button. You're watching the video anyway. You might unsubscribe at this point, but please subscribe to the channel or stay subscribed to the channel. Join the team, show your damn support, and be part of something special. And you never know what you're going to see on JDev TV.